The story opens in the neutral space station Unity 7, floating in the empty void between three major galactic civilizations. The station was built specifically for the historic first contact meeting between humanity and the Galactic Council, a powerful alliance of 12 alien species that has ruled this part of the galaxy for over 1,000 years. Captain Tom Blake stands in the observation deck of the human diplomatic vessel Harmony, watching the sleek alien ships dock at the station. The Council's ships are beautiful, smooth curves, glowing energy fields, and elegant designs that speak of advanced technology refined over centuries. Blake feels nervous. This is humanity's chance to join the galactic community, to prove they belong among the stars. The human delegation is small but carefully chosen. Ambassador Lisa Park leads the team, supported by military advisor Colonel Jack Stone, scientist Dr. Anna Reed, and trade representative Mike Chen. They have spent months preparing for these talks, studying alien cultures and customs through long-range communications. As they transfer to the station, they notice the aliens watching them with curious eyes. The Vorthan delegation floats in environmental suits, their jellyfish-like bodies pulsing with soft light. The Kaleri representatives stand tall on 4 legs, their crystalline skin reflecting the station's lights. The Nexus Collective speaks, in perfect harmony, their shared mind making decisions without debate. The opening ceremony is formal and grand. Council Speaker Valdris, an ancient Vorthan elder, welcomes humanity to their first official meeting. The translation devices work perfectly, turning alien languages into clear English. The atmosphere is hopeful as both sides exchange gifts and pleasantries. But then the discussions begin. The council members speak of humanity's aggressive expansion and primitive technology. They question whether humans are ready to join civilized space. Ambassador Park responds diplomatically, explaining humanity's peaceful intentions and desire to learn. The real tension starts when Colonel Stone mentions Earth's defensive capabilities. The aliens exchange worried glances when he casually refers to humanity's standard patrol fleet and home system defenses. What humans consider normal military preparedness sounds terrifying to species that have known peace for centuries. As the first day ends, both sides retire to their quarters with growing concerns. The humans wonder if they've said something wrong, while the aliens quietly discuss whether humanity might be too dangerous to trust. The second day of talks begins with technical demonstrations. Dr. Reed presents human technology with pride, showing off their latest achievements in faster-than-light travel, energy production, and materials science. What she sees as impressive innovation, the aliens view as crude but worryingly powerful. The Council's technology is far more advanced, but is designed for efficiency and beauty. Their ships use gentle gravity manipulation and clean fusion power. Human technology, by comparison, seems brutal and overwhelming. When Dr. Reed mentions that human ships can punch through most energy shields, the alien delegates shift uncomfortably. Trade Representative Mike Chen tries to lighten the mood by discussing resource sharing and economic cooperation. He explains how humans have learned to extract maximum value from hostile environments, asteroid mining, gas giant harvesting, and deep space manufacturing. The aliens are impressed but also concerned. Their own resource gathering is careful, unlimited, designed to preserve natural beauty. The real problem emerges during lunch break. Colonel Stone, trying to be friendly, shares stories about human military history. He talks about famous battles and strategic victories, thinking that aliens might appreciate tales of courage, and tactical brilliance. Instead, they hear about a species that has spent thousands of years perfecting the art of warfare. When Stone mentions that Earth maintains several thousand active warships for system defense, the room falls silent. The entire Galactic Council combined has fewer than 500 military vessels, most of which are barely armed research ships. The idea that one planet might have thousands of warships is almost incomprehensible. Speaker Valdris privately contacts the Council leadership. Emergency sessions begin in the alien quarters as they debate whether humanity represents an existential threat to galactic peace. Some argue for immediate military action, while others suggest diplomatic isolation. Ambassador Park senses the growing tension, but doesn't understand its source. The human delegation meets that evening to discuss the day's events. They're confused by the aliens' apparent fear of what seems like basic preparedness. Colonel Stone suggests that maybe these species have been peaceful for so long they've forgotten how to defend themselves. Dr. Reed points out that the aliens' technology, while beautiful, seems almost helpless against serious threats. Their ships have no armor, minimal shields, and weapons designed for mining rather than combat. She wonders aloud how they've survived this long without proper defenses. The night ends with both sides more suspicious than before. The humans begin to realize they might be dealing with civilizations that have never faced real danger, while the aliens start to see humanity as a warrior race that could conquer the galaxy. If they chose to, dawn of the third day brings an unexpected development. Long-range sensors detect a massive object approaching the station at high speed. The alien delegates initially assume it's a natural phenomenon, perhaps an asteroid or space debris. Their casual attitude changes quickly when their computers identify the incoming object as artificial. The human delegation receives a priority message on their secure channel. Captain Blake's face appears on the screen, looking somewhat embarrassed. Ambassador Park, we have a situation. Admiral Roberts is incoming with the Titan's Wrath and a full escort squadron. He wasn't supposed to arrive for another week, but apparently there was a change in the mission schedule. Ambassador Park feels her stomach drop. The Titan's Wrath is humanity's newest and largest dreadnought, a massive ship designed to protect entire star systems. She immediately realizes how this will look to the aliens, who are already nervous about human military strength. Colonel Stone tries to contact Admiral Roberts directly, hoping to convince him to hold position away from the station. But the Admiral is following strict protocols. When human diplomats are meeting unknown aliens, military protection must be provided. He genuinely believes he's helping the negotiations by showing humanity's strength and reliability. The alien delegates watch, their screens in growing horror as the approaching ship resolves into clear view. The Titan's Wrath is enormous, 5 kilometers long, bristling with weapon systems, and accompanied by 12 smaller warships. To human eyes, it's an impressive display of engineering and power. To alien eyes, it's a floating nightmare designed for galactic conquest. Speaker Valdris calls an emergency session with the human delegation. His normally calm demeanor shows cracks of genuine fear as he asks why humanity has brought a war fleet to peaceful negotiations. Ambassador Park tries to explain that it's just standard protection for diplomatic missions. But her words only make things worse. The Kaleri delegate stands and announces that his people cannot continue negotiations under the threat of human weapons. The Nexus Collective agrees in perfect unison, their shared mind already decided. One by one, the alien species begin to withdraw from the talks. Dr. Reed desperately tries to provide context, explaining that human space is filled with dangers, pirates, rogue asteroids, and hostile environments that require strong ships to navigate safely. But the aliens live in a peaceful region where such threats don't exist. They cannot understand why anyone would need such overwhelming military power. As the Titan's wrath takes position near the station, its massive bulk casting shadows across the alien vessels, the contrast becomes painfully clear. The human ship could destroy every alien vessel present without taking damage. The aliens' beautiful, delicate craft seem like children's toys in comparison. Captain Blake contacts the station with a cheerful greeting, asking if the diplomatic team needs any assistance. His friendly tone and casual attitude about commanding such devastating firepower only reinforces the aliens' growing conviction that humans are a species of warriors who see violence as natural and normal. The day ends with formal protests from 6 different alien species and demands that the human fleet withdraw immediately. Ambassador Park spends the evening in frantic communications with Earth, trying to explain why their most advanced diplomatic mission is falling apart just as their most powerful ship arrives to help. The 4th day begins with chaos. Overnight, 3 more Council species have decided to withdraw from the negotiations entirely. Their ships are already preparing to leave the station, unwilling to remain near what they now see as a human invasion. Fleet. The remaining aliens demand immediate explanations and guarantees that humanity will not use military force against Council members. Admiral Roberts, a veteran officer with decades of experience, finally docks with Unity 7 to meet personally with the diplomatic team. He's a straightforward man who believes in clear communication and direct action. When he enters the conference room, where Ambassador Park is trying to salvage the negotiations, his presence only makes things worse. The Admiral's casual confidence and matter-of-fact discussion of military capabilities terrifies the alien delegates. When Speaker Valdris asks about human intentions, Roberts responds honestly. Humanity will defend itself against any threat and protect its interests throughout the galaxy. He means it as a reasonable statement of policy, but the aliens here, a declaration of conquest. The situation completely collapses when the aliens request that humanity disarm as a sign of good faith. Admiral Roberts laughs, thinking it's a joke. When he realizes they're serious, he explains patiently that disarming would be impossible and foolish. Humanity has enemies and dangerous neighbors that require constant vigilance, but the aliens have no enemies. They've lived in peace for so long that the concept of permanent military readiness is alien to them. When Roberts mentions that Earth alone has over 50 military shipyards constantly building new vessels, the remaining delegates begin making emergency calls to their home. GOVERNMENTS. Dr. Reed makes a final attempt to bridge the gap by offering to share human defensive technology with Council species. She believes this will show humanity's peaceful intentions and desire for mutual cooperation. Instead, it sounds like a threat, humans offering weapons to civilizations that have never needed them. The Vorthan delegate, speaking for many of his colleagues, explains their perspective clearly. They see humanity as a species that has turned warfare into an art form, built their entire civilization around the assumption of constant conflict, and developed technology primarily for domination rather than enlightenment. From their point of view, humans are asking to join the galactic community while holding a gun to its head. Ambassador Park realizes that the fundamental problem isn't miscommunication, it's a complete difference in worldview. Humanity comes from a universe where strength ensures survival and military power protects peace. The Galactic Council comes from a reality where conflict is so rare that they've forgotten how to fight. The final blow comes when Admiral Roberts, frustrated by what he sees as unreasonable fear, offers to demonstrate human defensive capabilities. He suggests a mock battle scenario where the Titan's wrath shows how it would protect the station from hostile forces. The aliens interpret this as a threat disguised as an offer. Within hours, the remaining Council species vote unanimously to suspend all negotiations with humanity. They declare human space to be a restricted zone and announce plans to establish a buffer region to protect Council territory from human expansion. What began as first contact has become the galaxy's first Cold War. The aliens pack quickly and leave the station under escort from their few military vessels. As their ships depart, Speaker Valdris sends a final message to Ambassador Park. He expresses genuine sadness that to civilizations with so much potential cannot find common ground, but explains that the Council cannot risk the safety of trillions of peaceful citizens by trusting a species that sees warfare as natural. Unity 7 feels empty and cold with most of the alien delegations gone. Only a few Council observers remain, maintaining basic diplomatic relations while keeping their distance from the human fleet. Ambassador Park stands in the same observation deck where the mission began, watching the Titan's wrath patrol the perimeter like a guardian protecting its young. The reports she must send to Earth will not be pleasant reading. Humanity's first attempt at galactic diplomacy has ended in complete failure, and the blame falls squarely on mismatched expectations and cultural misunderstandings that neither side could bridge. Admiral Roberts joins her at the viewport, his weathered face reflecting the starlight. He's been reviewing the diplomatic transcripts, trying to understand where everything went wrong. For the first time in his career, his strength and capability have become liabilities rather than assets. "We scared them," he says quietly. "Not intentionally, but we scared them badly enough that they'll probably never trust us." Ambassador Park nods, her diplomatic training providing no easy solutions to this problem. The aliens weren't unreasonable or hostile. They were genuinely terrified by humanity's casual relationship with overwhelming military power. From their perspective, humans are a warrior species asking for friendship while carrying enough weapons to conquer the galaxy. Dr. Reed and Colonel Stone join them, both looking exhausted by the failed negotiations. Stone has been analyzing the alien military capabilities and reached a sobering conclusion. The entire Galactic Council could not defend itself against a serious human military campaign. Their technology is advanced but peaceful, designed for exploration and creation rather than destruction. They were right to fear us, Stone admits reluctantly, not because we're evil or aggressive, but because we're so much stronger than they are. It's like a heavily armed adult asking to be friends with a group of children. Even with the best intentions, the power imbalance makes real friendship impossible. The human team spends their final day on the station writing detailed reports and recommendations for future contact attempts. They suggest that humanity should approach the aliens slowly, perhaps through scientific cooperation rather than direct diplomatic contact. The military presence that seemed natural to humans must be minimized or hidden entirely if there's any hope of eventual trust. Captain Blake receives orders to escort the diplomatic team back to Earth, while Admiral Roberts and the Titans Wrath establish a permanent patrol in the border region. Humanity will respect the aliens' request for distance, while maintaining their own security. It's a Cold War in space, to civilizations that could benefit enormously from cooperation but cannot overcome their fundamental differences. As the human ships prepare to depart, a final message arrives from Speaker Valdris. It's not an official communication but a personal note to Ambassador Park. The elderly Vorthan expresses hope that someday their peoples might find a way to coexist peacefully, but explains that the Council needs time to adjust to the reality of human power. The message includes detailed observations about human nature that the aliens found both admirable and terrifying. They respect humanity's courage, ingenuity, and determination to survive in a hostile universe, but they cannot understand how humans can be so comfortable with violence and military strength while still claiming peaceful intentions. The story ends with humanity returning to Earth, wiser but isolated. They've learned that being the strongest species in the galaxy doesn't automatically make them welcome in galactic society. Sometimes strength itself becomes the barrier to the friendship they seek. In the final scene, Ambassador Park submits her report to the Earth government with a single recommendation. Humanity must find a way to appear less threatening while remaining strong enough to defend itself. It's a nearly impossible balance, but it's the only path forward if humans ever want to join the galactic community as friends rather than conquerors. The Titan's Wrath continues its patrol, a symbol of both humanity's strength and the tragic. The irony of their situation: they built the most powerful fleet in the galaxy to protect themselves, only to discover that their success has made them too dangerous to trust. The dreadnought that was meant to ensure humanity's future has instead guaranteed their isolation among the stars.